So we all know that these Chevy IFS, these independent front suspension GM trucks, the front ends of these things are junk. This right here is pencil thin. And if you were to compare that to, let's just say, this upgraded heavy duty tie rod, it's massive compared to that thing. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and boost launch this thing as hard as possible to try to fold that front end. And the reason why we're doing this is because we are going to test out these HD tie rods. Don't worry guys, we're gonna be installing all new front end parts. So for me to do this, it really doesn't matter. This is gonna be a really good test for you guys as the viewers to learn with me. So let's go ahead and launch this thing and see what it does without the heavy duty tie rods. Alright, so first we're gonna go ahead and do this on dirt. Alright guys, we're going to go ahead and take two on this one. This is the dirt test. 4-wheel drive. We'll go ahead and bring up the boost to about 12 PSI. Alright, so that's our first test. Alright y'all, let's do this. Now that first test, I gotta look at the footage, but it didn't seem like anything really happened. We'll just do a little. I'm a little nervous actually. No big deal though. See what happens. Oh no. The neighbor's outside. Woo! My neighbor just saw that. Oh boy. Yeah man, same exact way. Sent it pretty hard. I think I let off at about 12 pounds of boost, but we'll review the footage and see what happens here. That's exactly what happened the last time I tried to launch it. This time I didn't blow an intercooler boot, which is pretty awesome. The biggest problem that I have with these GM trucks, and a lot of Ford and Dodge guys can talk a lot of smack about these, and they have every right to, because the engineers at GM should have definitely designed beefier tie rods just like these right here. So let's go ahead, throw these on here, do the same exact test, and see what happens. I'm going to show you guys exactly how we're going to install these PPE HD tie rods, and this application is going to go from anything from an 01 to a 2010, but to be honest with you, it's going to go all the way up to a 2020. I will leave that link in the description below. Also use my coupon code TruckMaster10. It'll save you guys some money as well as free shipping. But this is going to be one of the best upgrades that you guys could possibly do, or I'd say one of the first upgrades that you guys should do to any GM truck, because we all know that these tie rods are extremely problematic, as you guys can see, the before and after. The stock ones are like pencil thin. Alright, so we're going to try this without removing the wheels, because you really don't have to. Here's where your tie rods are located. Actually, let me go ahead and show you this. And if you guys can tell, the big difference of why we're doing this. So let's go ahead and remove this right now. This is a 21 millimeter. Alright, I'm using a 36 millimeter or the largest adjustable wrench you guys have in your toolbox. Alright, so once you've broken that loose, you can go ahead and just take it off like that. Look at that thing. Alright, let's go ahead and remove the other one. So once you do this, you want to go ahead and hit it with a hammer. It'll bust right out, just like that. And then again, 36 millimeter, we're going to go ahead and break this loose. Alright, so next what we're going to go ahead and do is lay out our tie rods and figure out from end to end how long they are with a tape measure. You can eyeball it, doesn't have to be perfect. We're not doing a professional alignment in the garage or anything like that, but it's enough to get you to the alignment shop, and it'll also keep your wheels straight while you're driving there. But I've already measured these out before we turn the camera on, and we're looking at about 16.5 on each side. Yeah, we're about 16.5. So we're looking good on each end. Make sure you lay out your left and right so that way you know which side you pull off those tie rods from. And we should be good. I think what I'm gonna go ahead and do is back this out. Maybe just a little bit. So back that locking nut out. And then what we're gonna do is we're just gonna extend it out just like that. And then re-measure. Looks like we need to go out just a little more. Let's see here. And that should put us at 16.5. So once we've done that, we're gonna go ahead and simply lock that in. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and insert it right here where the steering link is. Just spin it on until it gets tight. All right, so once you've gotten the desired spot where you think that it's tight enough, you're gonna go ahead and take your gigantic adjustable wrench. Like I said, you gotta get something large. If you don't have something and you don't wanna spend a ton of money on tools, go to Harbor Freight or something. We're gonna, no, not this one. We're gonna use a 2-inch one, which is gonna be a lot bigger. But if the size is 2 inch in order to tighten that down, it's pretty large. So let's go ahead and tighten that up. Now I'm gonna tighten all this back up. I don't wanna wrench on it too tight just because it's all free floating in there right now. But once I get everything installed, we're gonna go ahead and retighten everything again. So we're gonna go ahead and turn that wheel. Just get it lined up right there. Get it in there and we'll go ahead and put that nut on it. Now in the future, I'm gonna be doing a lot of videos with this truck, but in the future, we're gonna be replacing all this. This is just for educational purposes right now. Unfortunately, I'm gonna be taking this thing off because I wanna redo everything on the front end. I wanna make sure it's nice and strong so we don't have to worry about all these horrible GM IFS problems. So feel for that little notch right there. There's a little slot here on this tie rod. I'm gonna use a 34mm. You can also use 2 adjustable wrenches to do this as well. And then we're gonna go ahead and use a 30mm. Now I'm gonna go ahead and just tighten this nut up. All right, so we're good there. Well, let's go ahead and tighten the rest of that up. Once you have that tightened, I like to go ahead and just turn this wheel all the way. That way we have plenty of room on the other side to install that other tie rod. So let's get to the other side. All right. Your Allen bolt right here, go ahead and just screw that in. It's just basically going to secure that big old nut right there that connects to the steering link. Lock it until it's tight and we'll go ahead and do the other side. So as you guys can see, we have everything installed. Looks good. Look how much beefier that looks. That's amazing. So next we're gonna go ahead and pump these greasers right here, full of grease. You don't wanna go too crazy because you don't want this boot right here to explode, have grease go everywhere. So a few pumps. You see this boot expand just a little bit from the grease. That's when you know that you're good. And while you're under here, make sure you guys hit all these other little grease zerks. It's always a good idea since you're already at it. You have the gun ready to go. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that off camera. And then we'll go ahead and take it outside and go ahead and put it in 4-wheel drive and give it a little boost launch and show you guys the differences between the two before and after. So stay tuned. I'm happy with the results. I got like 3 camera angles. So we'll go ahead and compare the 2 results on that one. Hey guys, she's back in the garage. And that test did not go so well. And the tie rods really weren't the culprit on this one. I think the first 0 to 60 launch that we did with this LMM Duramax, I think I smoked the idler arm as well as the pitman arm. 0 to 60, guys. Because now when we get play here, check this out. You can see, it's just loosey-goosey under there. It's just wobbling all around. It's not supposed to do that. So what am I gonna do about this since we have a faulty reading? Obviously the tie rods are the culprit when it comes to, you know, in and out play like that when you're launching it all hard. But with all that slop there in the center link, I think we need to do something about that. So luckily I have parts in my shop. So I'm gonna go ahead and switch those out really quick. And we're gonna go ahead and do this again and see how everything performs. So let's do that. right, so it's the next day. I just replaced the pitman and idler arm. So we're gonna go ahead and give her a little boost and see what happens. Should stay straight this time, we'll see. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Yes, much straighter this time. I like it. Wow, a lot more comfortable. So, my truck is good to go. It's fixed, no more issues. After installing these tie rods, the front end is so much stronger. Then of course, after I boost launched it, it kept us planted on the ground and I wasn't jumping all over the place. Maybe I should have talked about this in the beginning of the video, but this isn't a stock truck. We've done a lot of upgrades to this LMM Duramax. For example, we have the 64mm performance turbo from Ryan's Diesel Service, as well as this full bundle kit from HSP Diesel, and a few other little goodies like an AirDog 165 GPH lift pump, which I highly recommend. If you guys want to pick up one of those lift pumps yourself, I left that link in the description as well. This is exactly why I cannot stand GM trucks, guys. This is crazy. It's like, I'm not even a professional mechanic, and I'm an expert at front-end suspension parts on these trucks. It's weird. I just replaced the tie rods, the pitman arm, the idler arm. It's crazy. But as you guys saw the difference between the PPE HD tie rods versus the chintzy stock ones that the engineers thought would be such a smart idea. And then after that second test, we saw that the pitman arm and the idler arm had play right here at the ends. You guys can tell in the video, after I installed these, we did a boost launch, brought it back in the shop, and started shaking it down and saw that there's play right on the ends of these shafts right here. It was just moving around like crazy. That's not normal. It's not supposed to do that. Yeah, there's supposed to be some give on these right here. I apologize, guys. I know I didn't get it on camera, but we did install the Moog stuff. I wanted to make sure that we were upgraded somewhat because this stuff looks like it's never been replaced. So we did go with Moog, not Kryptonite. I love Kryptonite products. We just didn't have it in the shop. I still think Moog's a good product if you're just buying stuff at the parts store. If you have an 01 to a 2020 or 21, definitely go to my website and pick up a set if you have a 2500 or 3500 HD. Highly recommended, by the way. I'm pretty sure anybody can install those with some simple hand tools and some patience. You guys saw it on this video. I did it. It's really not that difficult. But we have all the projects parked right here in the front yard. Of course, we have the LMM parked, the Powerstroke. We haven't gotten to this yet. Be patient with me, guys. We're going to get those paint matched. I think that's probably as far as we're going to go with the Ford. The LBZ's been sitting for a really long time. I haven't been driving this truck. This is one of my favorite builds. And of course, this is the Cummins. We're going to be doing 2 turbos on this thing eventually. The truck's going to get painted. I'm just waiting on a door still. It's taking forever. And I'm also waiting on, I'm thinking 22s on 33s, 12.5 wide. This truck's gonna be awesome. But we haven't heard this old girl fire up in a while. Oh yeah, buddy. Woo! For the most part, I've been driving the L5P Duramax. I love this thing. This is probably over the top for me. It's so nice. It runs great, it's fast. I can't wait to get my hands in the engine bay. Make sure you guys stay tuned and watch till the end of this video because we have some serious problems with the Tahoe. This is my daily driver. I drive this thing in the wintertime, or if I just don't want to put miles on all my diesel trucks. Also, gas is just cheaper nowadays. So in my location in Michigan, I'd seen in upwards of about $3.49 for diesel. It's crazy. Guys, let me know in the comments how much diesel is and how much gas is where you guys are from. I'm curious. I was just listening to the radio today and I heard that the price of fuel is actually going up and there's no signs of it going down. But if gas is cheaper, I'm going to be driving the Tahoe. But yeah, make sure you watch the tail end of this video because I'm going to be tearing into this thing right here. We'll figure out what's going on with it. Listen to that grinding right there. You guys can hear that grinding? Let's go ahead and take it into the shop and figure out what's going on. All right, so off camera, I shook down all the wheels and tires, and this is the one that's giving me the most grief. But this Tahoe is my daily driver. I don't care if it gets rusty. We've had it for years. We bought this truck in 2009, and this is an 07.5. So when we bought it, it was still pretty much brand new. I think the thing only had like 20,000 miles on it. Let's see what's going on here. I don't know, guys. That's pretty bad. You know, have you seen worse? I have. That's pretty bad. Go ahead and get this wheel off. Oh yeah, buddy. You know, I replaced this like 5-6 years ago. It's crazy how that just goes out. Luckily, I used anti-seize because there's still some left in there. That's good. Living in Michigan, you can never have enough of this stuff, man. Good old anti-seize. Even if I lived in the South, I'd use it. But if this happens again, it's going to be like this, where the stuff comes off super easy. Zero play. We are good, guys. Awesome.
Something coming in.